there was a big debate right after the Second World War about, now that this technology existed, and it's worth noting that nuclear weapons were created at the same moment that institutions like the United Nations are being created, right? So you've got all of this new infrastructure that's supposed to bring world peace at the same time that you've got the most destructive weapons that humanity has ever known coming into being. So there's a debate from that first moment about whether this should all be under the control of the United Nations and not the United States, though the United States was never going to go in that direction necessarily. And then very, very quickly, there's a great concern about the Soviet Union in particular, and whether the Soviet Union is going to gain access to this technology in some way. As it turns out, the Soviet Union had actually had spies in various parts of the atomic weapons program throughout the war. It's not clear, and after, it's not clear that those were really the critical factors in the ultimate acquisition of the bomb in 1949. To some degree, the arms race between the Soviet Union and the United States was going on during the war itself, right? All of the great powers who were involved in the Second World War are trying to get a sense of what the others are doing. The Soviet Union and the United States are allies, but they are mutually suspicious allies. They are not doing the same sort of intelligence sharing that the United States is doing with the British during the war, for instance. And then very quickly, as the war comes to an end, and as you have the Soviet Union occupying so much of Europe at that point, it's clear that these kinds of nuclear security questions are going to be very important. So there's a big debate in the United States about what kind of security needs to be in place domestically around it, who's going to have access to this information here, and then a pretty acute sense that the United States wants to and fails to keep it out of the hands of the Soviet